I hope my videos inspire you to make your own story to share out of a tale shared with you. My videos on making stories and sharing them are part of YAPS TV for Schools by the Young Alberta Book Society. My name is Tololwa Mollel. I'm a sharer of stories through my published books, plays, and stories I perform to audiences. In my videos, I share preliminary drafts of stories I've written out of tales shared with me. I'll eventually share my stories when ready with audiences. Use the story drafts as shared tales to make your own stories to share with an audience. Get tips on how to make and share stories out of shared tales from the video, Make a Story to Share Out of a Shared Tale, How and Why. That's my first video, an introductory video. Get more tips on how to share your story with audiences from the final video, Make a Story to Share Out of a Tale, shared with you, Thoughts on Sharing. In this video is my story draft, Making a Difference. As with my other story drafts in these videos, I'll perform the story when ready to audiences. For Making a Difference, I was inspired by a fable shared to me in versions from many cultures. Make your own story to share out of that tale as I've shared it in this story draft. Here is the story. An old man and his great-grandson worked on a lonely beach. Fish washed ashore from the ocean, wriggled around, stranded all over the sand. The old man and the boy picked up the fish one after another and put them back into the sea. As hard as the frail old man tried, he could only move very slowly, and as much as his great-son helped him, the two could save only one out of every 10 fish stranded on the beach. A man passing by stopped. He asked, "What in the world are you doing?" "What does it look like?" the old man answered, irritated. He was tired. They had been working for hours. The passerby said, "I see what you're doing, but why are you doing it?" "It's obvious, isn't it?" The old man did not stop in his work, nor did his great-grandson. "Yes, it's obvious," the passerby said. "You're trying to save the fish stranded on the sand. They die if they're out of water for too long. I know that. Everybody does. But what about all the other oceans and lakes and rivers and the big and the small ponds? What about all the bodies of water in the world?" "What about them?" the old man asked. He bent down to pick up another stranded fish. The passerby chuckled. "Well, millions of fish in all the tens of thousands of bodies of water all over the world must be dying stranded on land every single day of the year. What difference does it make to these few fish, to save these few fish, while all those other billions of fish die? What difference does your little act of kindness make?" The old man walked up to the passerby and grabbed his hand. "Come." He led the puzzled man to a little fish struggling on the sand. He ordered him, "Pick it up." The fish wriggled around when the passerby picked it up. He laughed nervously. "I'm not used to having live fish in my hands." The old man's great-grandson giggled. He had been watching. "Don't drop it," he said to the passerby. "Hold the fish firmly. It won't bite you." The old man didn't laugh, but told the passerby, "Follow me." He led the man into the sea and instructed him, "Put the fish into the sea." The passerby did. The fish swam away and quickly vanished. The old man said, "There is your answer." The passerby scratched his head. "Answer to what?" The old man turned and asked his great-grandson, who had followed the two men into the sea. "What was his question to us?" Proud to have been asked, the boy answered eagerly. He asked us what difference our kindness has made. The old man pointed at the spot the little fish had vanished in the water and said to the passerby, "You saw how happily the fish you put back swam away. That is the difference your act of kindness made. It made a difference to that little fish. Our acts of kindness made a difference to all the fish we have saved day after day." That evening, sipping happily from a hot cup of tea after supper, the old man told his great-grandson, "We should have the wisdom, the patience, the character, and peace of mind to make a difference even in small ways." End of the story. In most versions of the tale shared with me, the fable is very brief. It only consists of the old man saving the fish, the passerby, and a short dialogue between the two. I added the great-grandson in my story draft and created an extended interaction between the three characters. Make your own story to share out of this shared tale in this story draft. For more tips on how to share your own story out of making a difference or any of my other story drafts in the other videos, see my final video, Make a Story to Share out of a Shared Tale. Thoughts on sharing. Thank you.